Welcome to Melt. I'm Suresh Venkat. We are talking creativity this week on the show, and we're doing that with one of the most awarded creative professionals on the planet, Anselmo Ramos. Now, industry watchers know that 2023 was Anselmo's year. The agency he co-founded, Gut, won the Independent Network of the Year honors at the Cannes Lion, and then just a few months later made headlines again by partnering tech giant Globant. So why is tech the future of creativity? What is the secret sauce to building global award-winning teams? And how does an advertising startup scale super successfully in just 5 years? Let's find out as we get ready to melt with Anselmo Ramos. Hi Anselmo, welcome to Melt. Now 2023 has been an excellent year for Gut. Now you're known for manifesting success. Was all that happened in 2023 a result of this great planning and execution?
Yeah, 2023 was a great year for us. We were Independent Agents of the Year in Cannes, Agents of the Year, Independent Network of the Year. It's insane what happened. It's historic. But I think it was all about planning. Oprah Winfrey, she says something amazing, I think. She says that most people don't get what they want in life because they don't know where they're going, right? So in 2020, I tweeted that in 2023, we will be Agents of the Year in Cannes. When I did that, a lot of people at the agency said, why we're doing that? Why we're putting out there? Now we need to deliver on it. But it's a kind of weird technique that I have. I like to share my dreams publicly, and that makes me accountable because I have to deliver on them. But yeah, thank God it happened.
All right, now let's break that down a bit for our viewers. How does an independent agency start preparing and planning for an acquisition? What are the timelines, the methods, the processes that you had to keep in place?
Yeah, a couple months ago, we got acquired by Globant, a tech company, and we're very happy about that. Our first 5 years, we were fully independent, and I think our fully independence was crucial for our first 5 years for our growth. And now this partnership with Globant is going to be very important for our growth in the next 5 years. It's a tech company, so it's very complementary. It's very strategic complementary because we don't do tech and they don't do communications. So this is a marriage between tech and creativity. So we're really excited about it. And they've been our clients for 3 years now. So they really know who we are. They know our values. They are brave clients. And it's really unusual, really, for a client to acquire its own agency. I've never sold a company before, so we've learned a lot. And since the very beginning, we've always planned for growth. Since day one, we started a UK holding company, which is insane. We had nothing, not even one client, and we had a UK holding company. It's insane. I think the acquisition happened earlier than we thought. We're only 5 years old. But that was the perfect timing to do it. It's the perfect partnership. And I'm really excited about it.
Let's talk about life post-acquisition. Can you help our viewers understand what changes a creative hotshot like yours? What changes do you undergo after an acquisition like this?
So after the acquisition, nothing changes. And at the same time, everything changes, right? Nothing changes because we're going to keep Gut as a separate company. We are not independent anymore, but we're going to operate in an independent way. So it's Gaston and me leading the operation with Andrea Dickes, our CEO. So nothing changes, from that perspective. But at the same time, now we are part of this huge tech company. And so there's nothing that we cannot do. The ad that we ran on the Wall Street Journal, on the New York Times says it all. It says what happens when you put tech nerds and ad nerds together, right? And that's the power of the creative tech. Like, we can produce any kind of idea now. We can dream about anything, and then we can code it. We can market it. So there's nothing we cannot do. It's engineers and communications people together coming up with any idea. So that's the beauty of this partnership. And we're just starting. Like right now, we are learning from each other. We're learning everything from Globant, and they are learning from us. And 2024, we're going all in.
All right, two questions now. Question one, are you looking to expand operations? And question two, everybody in India wants to know, any plans for an India office?
Well, yes. When Gaston and I decided to open Gut, We were in Cannes at table 57 at the Martinez. The next day, I spent like the whole day reserving handles on social media. Got Miami, got Sao Paulo, got Tokyo, got Mumbai. So I have the handle. We want to conquer the world. Right now we have 7 offices. So we are in Miami, in LA, in Toronto, Mexico City, Buenos Aires, Sao Paulo, and Amsterdam. So we will keep expanding to Europe, Asia, and Africa, right? So yeah, the plan is world domination, right?
And are you scouting for any potential acquisitions in this region, perhaps?
We're not planning any acquisitions right now. We want to build a communications company, right? With different capabilities. Now we're partnering with Globant. We're going to keep offering more capabilities in more markets. So we'll keep talking about it, but in the future, we love to offer more capabilities when it comes to design, PR, media, and so on. And so we're going to be studying different companies in different markets and see what happens. But for now, we don't have any specific plan.
All right. Now, gut thrives on bravery, while many clients today would prefer to take the, let's say, safest route possible. How do you convince your clients to go for the braver ideas or brave ideas?
Well, the great thing about our name is it says it all, right? So our name is a filter for brave clients. Because if you are a client and you don't want to do great work, you not call us. So we always say that we are a brave agency for brave clients. We're looking for brave clients. In the beginning of Gut, in the first couple of years, that was crucial to find the right clients and in order to do great work, right? As we grow over the years, we realized that at the same time, the bravery was helping us to attract a lot of clients, was also making some clients not call us, right? Because they will just not be sure about it because their organizations wouldn't be brave. So because of that, we created the bravery scale. And the bravery scale is a scale that goes from 0 to 10. 0 is completely dominated by fear. And 10 is there is no other way to live. And 5 is in the middle, sometimes brave, sometimes safe. And then we have a very honest conversation with our clients. We ask them, what do you think you are on the bravery scale? It's okay, right? There's no right answer. You can be a 3, you can be a 4, you can be a 7. And then we talk about it, right? Because bravery is not binary. There's no such thing as you're either brave or you're not brave. It's a journey. It's a daily conscious choice. So we help clients to move up the bravery scale. We have cases where we took the client when the client was a 3 on the scale and now they are a 7. Usually takes like 1 year per stage on the scale. We actually have tips how to move up the bravery scale. So it's okay. You can be a 2 as long as you're moving up and we can help that journey. The problem is when you don't want to move up the bravery scale or you're moving down, then we need to talk about it.
Now, Anselmo, there's a subtle difference between bravery and foolishness. How do you differentiate between the two?
Yeah, bravery is relative, right? Bravery is not about doing something crazy and irresponsible. Bravery is pushing the limits to your brand, in your context, in your market, in your category, for your audience. So bravery is different for every client. It's very relative, right? Foolishness is something else. It's like when you do something, with no consequence, something that can hurt the brand. There is a fine line. But if you know the strategy of the brand positioning and personality, the tone of manner, then you know how can you push that to do something different. Bravery is just about doing something that people talk about, that they will care, they'll have a connection with, they will share with their friends. Otherwise, what's the point? Why would you do something that no one talks about, right? So bravery is about that. It's about pushing the boundaries, but within a context, right? So bravery is really personal. What's brave for me is not what's brave for you. Every brand has a different take on bravery according to their context. Foolishness is something else. It's not responsible. It's just doing something stupid,
Globant, as we all know, is a global giant. Now, how do you plan to preserve the work and creative culture at Gut?
Yeah, we are obsessed about culture. We love culture. We say that if you don't design the culture will design itself. So we design the culture in a very conscious way, in a very intentional way. We treat gut as a brand. And we say that gut is our most important client. So we have a brand positioning, we have a brand personality, tone of manner, values, principles. We write principles all the time. We tend to wear black t-shirts. It's not mandatory, it's optional. But we have a strong culture, and we talk about culture all the time. In April, for instance, we turned 5, and then we took 450 people to Buenos Aires, Argentina. That was crazy. It was insane. Imagine the logistics of it, the investment, and it was worth every penny. So when I came back from that trip, we had a 2-minute video, like a recap video. I showed that to my daughters, and they were like, Dad, this is not an agency, it's a cult. Okay? So I don't know if it's a cult or an agency, but I'll take that as a compliment.
Now let's talk process, creativity, and buzzwords. Now Adlan saw multiple buzzwords in 2023. Any buzzword that you are simply tired, annoyed, bored with?
Yeah, I think our industry is using purpose a bit too much, right? I don't know. Every brand's trying to save the world now. Every brand's trying to do good. And I think it's a little exaggerated right now. I think some brands have purpose at the core, right? If you take Patagonia as a brand, they were born like that, right? Like the founder will leave the brand to the world, to the planet. That's purpose at the core. And a lot of brands are doing some purposeful work because it's trendy or because they think consumers care about it, but it's not really truth to their values, to their core values. So I don't think purpose is for every brand. It's not for everyone. I think as an industry, I think we're overdoing that a little bit. And you can notice that when you go to Cannes, for instance, and you see the winning work, and, it's just very serious right now, so why it's so serious? I don't know. It's too much. I think we really need to look at the brand DNA, the brand values, and really see if purpose makes sense for you. And if you choose to do a purposeful work, you have to make sure that you really commit to the cause, and it's long-term. You're committing long-term. It cannot be a one-off campaign.
Okay, now the converse of that question. Any buzzword that's currently perhaps under the radar, but in your view will get everyone's attention in 2024?
Yeah, a buzzword that I think we should use is funny. It's the opposite of purpose, right? I think what our industry needs right now is just be funny, make me laugh. It's advertising. We have to entertain people. And I think it's very rare nowadays to see a brand just having fun, not taking itself too seriously, right? If you look at the internet, the humor, it's just so stupid. It's just memes, right? People forward to each other stupid things. It's the internet humor, it's memes. But then when we go to brand work, it's just so serious. Some brands are not supposed to be funny. Fine. It's okay. We can tap into all sorts of emotions, right? Fine. You can make me cry. But I think we have an opportunity as an industry to just, let go a little bit and have more fun and not take ourselves so seriously. But just really entertain people. People have tons of shows to watch, tons of memes to see. We're competing with that, right? So I would say, let's just have more fun. Let's try to be funny. Let's make people laugh.
You worked across geographies, cultures, languages. Any tips to spot and steer a creative idea from good to great across these many cultures that you work with?
Yes, I could talk hours about that. I think the first thing is you need to deeply know the brand, right? So know your brand, and also you need to know everything about the category, the audience. And then it's about culture, right? You have to really be connected to culture, watch everything, travel everywhere, read everything. And then you make that connection, okay? Oh, this idea is great for this brand, and usually a great idea, you can tell in a line, right? You can send a WhatsApp to a client saying, what if we do this? And it's just one line. Those are the most powerful ideas. And then you need to protect that idea along the way, right? Because ideas are very fragile. They can die very easily. So you need to protect that idea. and you need to let it grow. So just allow that idea to keep growing and growing and getting better through execution, to production and to craft, right? So it's a combination of finding the right idea and then allowing the idea to grow, and keeping it alive. So when we're looking for an idea, usually what we're looking for is a couple of things, right? First, we're looking for something that hasn't been done before, right? It's very hard because we tend to watch everything. But if you see something and you have the feeling, I haven't seen anything like this before, it's a great feeling. Then we look for something that usually is hard to make it happen. It's a great feeling when you don't even know how to start. Usually great ideas, they stand for something or they stand against something. Those are also two great tips, for finding a great idea. And then usually it's zeitgeisty. It feels that it's just part of a bigger conversation that's happening right now. So we try to use those things to find a great idea, right? And then make it happen, right? And protect it along the way.
Okay, what's one piece of work that you've seen in 2023 that you wished came from gut, and perhaps what made it catch your eye, that particular piece of work?
There was this great campaign from Uncommon in London for British Airways. It's called the campaign is called British Original. It's a huge platform, and the insight is so simple, right? Is the question that you get asked, like, is it business or leisure? And then they just added like a third option, something else. And then they just had fun with it. And it's very insightful, right? Because they wrote things like, spending the kids' inheritance, or a breakthrough treatment, or, it's too raining in London, whatever, right? So they had fun with it. I think they wrote like 500 different lines. And each line is very insightful. You relate to that line from a human perspective. But it's a big platform, very flexible and very ownable for British Airways, And as an industry, it's a very good example of creating a campaign that's very rich, it's very insightful. It's embracing one core medium, which is in this case is out of home, and it's so beautiful. It's great writing. So for many, many reasons, also it's a big brand, right? Investing in a big platform. So it's a very good example for our industry.
Anselmo, if you had just 1 minute, one single minute of every brand manager's attention, what would you tell them in those 60 seconds?
Great. Listen, all brand managers, I think my advice is just do more, okay? I'm almost positive that you're not doing enough. We always tell our clients, let's do more, because nobody knows anything. I love that line. This line is from William Goldman. He was a Hollywood producer, director, and filmmaker, right? And he was talking about Hollywood. He said, nobody knows anything. And that's why you have so many sequels in movies. Because when a movie does right, they go, okay, let's do a sequel. Let's do 2, 3, 4, 5. Because it worked, but people don't know what's going to work. But that also applies to advertising. Nobody knows anything in advertising. I don't know anything. So what we tend to do is we put things out there and we see what happens. The internet will let you know very fast. And then if it works, you keep it going, you do more of that. If it doesn't work, no big deal. You learn from it. Don't repeat that. Most marketers don't do enough. Most agencies don't do enough. So I think we need to do more often. And as a brand manager, I will know, if I were a brand manager, it's easy for me to say, but I will be known as the approver. Just approve things. Yes, let's do this. Because the brand manager, you have all the power, right? You can inspire the agency. You can say, yes, let's do it. You can find the money. You can find the budget. You can make it happen. You can help the agency to protect the work. We always say that we're nothing without brave clients. We're nothing. We need brave clients to make things happen. So just do more and more often and have fun.
Anselmo, let's talk about your personal journey. Your journey to where you are is extremely intriguing, to say the very least. A lot of reading, no TV, a college that taught you to knit, among other skills, and a lot more. What advice would you give to someone who wants to enter the industry today? Should they learn to knit, for instance?
Yeah, my childhood was interesting, growing without TV and reading a lot and knitting, was weird. I think every story is different, and I think you need to embrace who you are, what makes you very unique, and bring that to work, right? Culture, like at GUT, for instance, we say the culture is designed half by us, like providing tools and values and personality to the brand, and half comes from the people. So one of our principles is always bring your full self every day, right? Make the work very personal, because everyone is unique and we're looking for unique voices. So your life story is unique, your background, your experiences, bring that full self every day to work, because that's going to give a personal touch to the work that's going to make it very, very special.
Now, everyone agrees that spotting and nurturing talent remains the biggest challenge in this industry. How do you approach this challenge at GUT?
So in our industry, everything's about talent. In our case, we're looking for people that have shared values. So courage, transparency, and intuition. Those three values come from our name, right? So courage is about having the guts to do something that hasn't been done before. Transparency is about spilling your guts inside and out. And intuition is about following your guts. But the most important thing is we're looking for that spark in the eyes, which is very subjective. You just feel that, right? It doesn't mean that I'm literally looking in their eyes, but it means that I'm looking for that hunger, for that desire, for that potential to prove yourself.
On that note, Anselmo Ramos, thank you for talking to Melt.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
That's a wrap on this episode. You can follow Melt on social media. The handle is Ready to Melt, or simply log on to readytomelt.com. If you'd like to follow me, I'm at Suvenk on X, the platform formerly known as Twitter. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week. Goodbye.